were saying that they play football on the screens.
Yeah, they play like football and ITV and just like pointless shit like that. I mean, that's different if it's a football pub, but regular pubs really should be playing videos by local filmmakers, because they used to, in the old days, they used to always play local bands. They'd bring a CD in and they would rotate the CD of the local band in a way of advertising the fact that band's playing. So why not do that with films? You know, this is a local filmmaker. And if you then intercut it with footage of the actual venue, so you go into the venue, film a couple of things, and we'll put it on disc as well, that's good advertising for them. That's basically going, look, we're really busy. Might not look busy right now, but come here on a Friday, come here on a Saturday night. But it's getting around to actually approaching all these places and talking to them.
Yeah, and they don't. I can imagine that a lot of them are going to be difficult about it as well.
Yeah.
Like just old, stuck in their ways sort of landlords.
Yeah. And some pubs obviously are massively corporate, like the Goose or Wetherspoons. You won't be able to go to them and be like, oh, can we put a video on?
How many have you asked?
Well, it's in progression. I'll write that down.
Yeah, we haven't actually asked anyone yet.
It's turned into an episode of The Apprentice, but it's kind of true.
There's a lot of things.
Making assumptions.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things we have ideas, but not all of us addressing and getting done.
So it's like 12 minutes past 7, and I know I don't want to interfere with your meeting, but it'd be really great to ask a few questions.
Yeah, so I think we've got to most of our points. It's just like to catch up, and because Aaron's is Dave's cinematographer, he's performing today. Dave put down anyway.
Is that the guy from Horndean?
Yeah, he's the first act on.
Sorry, what's his act?
He performs. I think he's singing and playing guitar with his mate, or he's singing one or the other. But he asked for a gig, and I thought, yeah, go on then. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to, I don't know, take someone to the corner, then you can.
Well, I was just going to ask, maybe you can just try and explain to me, or to the camera, just, I listened to your meeting downstairs, and I know you've told me before that you're producing, you've got other people directing, but maybe you could just run through, in fairly simple terms, the projects you've got on the go.
Okay.
Because you did do that downstairs, but it just went over my head. And then, if it's involving other people, maybe you can then introduce the other people who are here.
Well, if I do it as in...
and maybe you could also say what you... that this, you know, for the sake of us recording, maybe you could also say, explain what you're doing tonight, what you do. You have a regular Trash Arts meeting. Can we see? Maybe you can open your thing and we can see your T-shirt. I noticed you had a Trash Arts T-shirt on.
Yeah, but it's an old logo. It's not the new logo, because I like to wear the old one. So retro.
Just give that a go, though, Sam. Just run through. Just give us an overview of what you're up to, all your activity, your film activities mainly.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go through the current slate, because those are the films that we shot last year.
Take it, wind it back. So you work under the logo or the name Trash Arts.
Yeah.
What is Trash Arts?
Trash Arts is it's making films, but it's making films that are a little bit different and giving people freedom to do whatever they want, really.
It's more than that, though, isn't it? I mean, it's some sort of multimedia.
But we're focusing on films, right?
Yeah, we're focused on films right now.
Oh, we are
it's a
multimedia, yeah.
sort of thing. We do everything.
But from the film side, it's like with these guys here, Dave was making a short film on Talent Circle, and he asked for an actor. So I got in touch, originally intending to act, but then I decided that I'd recommend Ryan instead. I said, do you want to make a film? And he had our last summer. So I was like, come and join Trash Arts. And he did.
So how many people are in Trash Arts?
Right now, there's the four of us, and our sound man, Liam, who wants to start making films. And then we have lots of people who are involved in the company, but not fully. Like our editor, Nin, our door girl, who does the gigs, and just lots of other little people like that. But the main group, at this point, is the four of us. Right, I'd say just the four of us for now, until Liam's fully involved with everything. Jack was an actor, he was in The Wasters. He wanted to make films, so he got involved. He was making his film with Ryan, One Road. and now he makes his own films, and he's developing his feature for June, and he's doing music videos for other acts as well, which he'll be shooting over this couple of months.
So, you say that everybody here is making their own films, but they're making them under the umbrella of Trash Arts, or
Making it, yeah, pretty much.
so you stick together because you're more powerful together, rather than, or
Yeah.
you share equipment and.
Well, yeah, like camera-wise, we've got Tom's DSLR, and we've got my DSLR, and if Dave wants to shoot a film, he'll use one of our cameras. He may even use Tom's to do cinematography. If anyone wants to use camera, they just use the camera. It's a company camera. Although I bought it with a loan that I got, it's still a company camera. It's the same with the microphone that we're getting, any lights, any lenses. It's all to be used within company.
And that's the point of these gigs, really, is to get by some more equipment and stuff.
Yeah, it's just fun
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
How much equipment do you need?
Don't need loads. We've got two DSLRs.
It would be nice to have more, though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely nice to have more, but we've got two DSLRs with two kit lenses and two prime lenses. Tom's now got a wide angle lens, got a crappy little macro lens, and we've got a crappy little fisheye lens as well. Just get a couple more crappy little lenses.
Okay, moving away from being too technical, just run us through the sort of hierarchy. So, if I'm right in understanding, you're producing
Yeah.
every film.
Not every film. I didn't produce our last time. I was going to, but projects with too much going on, so I had to leave it. But we were all still.
Can you just, Sam, just for the sake of this, could you just start? Just let us know what your role is then. So you're obviously a key player in this.
Well,
So what is your role? Are you a producer?
Yeah.
And repeat that to me so we can record it.
Okay.
Just let me know what it is you're doing.
I produce, I write, I direct, I act within what we do. So I produce some of the feature films coming from the company and short films. And I started the company 6 years ago. These guys have been in the company for about a year, maybe a year and a half. So that's the main point.
So how many films have you made in that 6 years?
Sorry, films have actually been shot and edited and completed. What do you mean, films?
Just tell me, however you see it.
There must be about 6 or 7 features, with 4 and 3 being complete. About 15 short films, about 10 promotional videos. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
So you've been talking tonight about marketing. So what's happened to all the stuff you shot so far?
I've had it screened at things. Derby Film Festival, I've had a couple of films play there. A couple of other small festivals, because when Riyadh used to be in the company, he'd send films to festivals. Played in the clubs, obviously the promo for the clubs promoted themselves.
But they also promote our other videos as well, because people go on to look at what else we've done after those promos have been sort of seen. So that's sort of a way of marketing, sort of in a sort of sense.
So you see marketing as, I mean, how you just want people to see your stuff. That's it.
Yeah, I want people to watch it, and then, I mean, one day it would be nice to get someone who wants to invest. I've always thought if someone wants to invest in one film, they'll look at what we've done in the past and be interested in what we've done in the past. And luckily, I try to treat Trash Arts like it's a studio. Get as many films pumping through it from different filmmakers. Not every single one of them is going to be perfect, but there's going to be one that people will go, that's fucking cool. And they will look at the other films.
So it's like a production line you got going.
Yeah, essentially. I like to think of it all as a production line.
So how many have you got on the go at the moment? How many feature films have you got on the go at the moment?
Well, there's 3 we shot last year and 3 we're shooting this year, so I suppose...
Well, 4 kind of that we're shooting this year, because drug tours as well.
Yeah, but I was putting drug tours in last year.
Okay, run us through those 7
Okay, so
and the status of each.
our last summer, about... should be better if Dave explains this, Dave's film.
Okay. Yeah, Our Last Summer is a coming of age film. It's about a group of 18-year-olds who spend the last summer together before they go off their separate ways to university, to other cities. And it's really about how they learn to come to terms with who they are becoming as people, with the growing up process, but also with the possibility of losing each other because they're such a close unit. And it's about the kind of adventures they go on through that last summer together. And their transition from childhood to adulthood, I suppose.
And what status is that in, that film?
Currently being edited, and we're hoping to premiere it in April.
And you directed that, did you, Dave?
Yeah, wrote and directed.
And what sort of size cast is in that?
There's a core cast of 5, and then a few supporting as well, but it was kept quite low key, cast and crew was.
Did you produce that?
No.
Who produced that? Who produced that?
I produced as well, I suppose, technically.
And what's the budget for that? $7 grand.
No, it was not 7 grand, it was probably more like a couple of hundred. Really.
So, Dave, how do you see that? You know, Sam saying that a film, it's worth saying that a film costs $7 grand when actually most of it is, well, he's saying I can't remember which film cost 70 quid.
Well, I understand that it would be perhaps trickier to get a film funded if a company can, whoever is likely to be putting the funding into you can already see that you can make a feature film for 70 quid. They're less likely to fund it. There's two sides to the argument, because you can also say, well, yeah, it's great if you can make a feature film for very little money, but yeah.
See, I'd ask, if you can make a film for 70 quid, why do you need to get funding?
It's being able to do it on a more professional scale.
Yeah.
It's being able to do everything better.
Exactly.
Better equipment, bigger name actors, better locations. You're not confined by you don't feel limited. A film like The Avengers, cost 200 million to make, has no limits. It can do whatever it likes. But with us, we have to be limited by our budget. We have to think within that budget. So the locations are limited, actors limited. You can't go and get an actor from America to fly over and stay in a hotel. It has to be someone that's fairly local. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why having a bigger budget would be
It's
a big
also,
benefit.
as well, like, what I find is that if we had a bigger budget, you could do more kind of marketing stuff with that, because you could just have a marketing team. And if you had a marketing team, you can make it just so much better and easier to get the films out there. Really.
Just run us through the rest of them.
You got One Road, was a feature, now more of a short film, directed by Jackson and David. It's a sequel, prequel to The Wasters. Not David, what am I talking about? Jackson and Ryan. It's not him. And then you've got Evil, which is a film.
So just tell me what role you're playing on some of these as well. What did you have to do with that?
One Road.
Yeah.
One Road, me and Ryan co-wrote and I produced.
And obviously The Wasters he directed as well.
The original
which is,
film, yeah.
where the storyline is sort of a prequel sequel. It's like it's before and after The Wasters, because The Wasters is only one weekend set within that world.
Just tell us quickly about The Wasters.
Wasters was a film that I shot back in 2011. It's about partying and decadence during 2010, the meth drug scene.
And what's happened with that? Anything?
Nothing. It's on YouTube. That's where The Wasters is. It's a limited film because technology changed as well, and it was shot on an XLR, and it wasn't HD. And we did send it to some festivals, and we didn't get attention towards it. But it was a film that I made after Riyadh left the company, and it was me getting back into the groove of it. And I'm happy it exists, but it doesn't need to go any further than YouTube.
So you just give it away for free?
Yeah, people can watch it. People have watched it. People like it. Some people don't like it. It's quite nice that it's just still there, rather than just hidden away on a disc somewhere.
Okay, just run us. Sorry, I can't remember exactly where we were. It's what's.
One road we were at.
Yep.
So One Road sequel prequel to The Wasters, about the main relationship and how it's falling apart with a reflection on what's occurred. The other film after that is Evil. That's a film that I wrote and directed and produced, and that's
Is that EVOL?
EVOL, yeah.
Like Love Backwards.
Yeah. And that's a three-way relationship.
I didn't even clock that. I know that's really basic, but I didn't even clock that. It just goes to show how clear you've got to be in communicating things.
Yeah, I mean, it was originally called The 70s Love Story because I was watching a lot of Nicholas Rouge at the time, and I was thinking about Bret Easton Ellis, but then I thought, no, that's too obscure. Evil works better because it's a love story. It is a love story backwards about two best friends who know each other since school. They meet up again. They both fall for the same guy. That guy suggests they should be in a three-way relationship. They get into the three-way relationship, and then the two best friends realise they love each other, and then it kind of things fall apart.
Okay, so I heard you talking about this earlier on, and you said there's a lot of sex in that film.
Yeah.
So, assuming you haven't got a large budget, how are you convincing people to? Are you getting people to get their kit off?
It's not full nudity, so it's like shot in a certain way. So they were in underwear for a lot of the shoots, kind of thing. It was just shot in ways that you go, oh, that might be naked, but it wasn't.
How do you approach that though? If you can't pay somebody,
they have to be invested in. They have to be able to trust me. And they have to be invested in the story. And I worked with Ryan, Phoebe, and Jackson for 7 months before making Evil and getting the improv perfect and convincing them. I also took Phoebe, Jackson, and Ryan to go see Shane to give them an idea of how further they can push themselves.
Okay, just one other question. Although we haven't finished running through your thing, when I first turned up to work on a film with Mike, I saw the lead actor making a plate of whole wheat pasta with sultanas, and then I realised the level, we were just talking about film budgets,
Yeah.
that I hadn't really taken into consideration the kind of level of catering that occurs on, proper no-budget films. How do you deal with?
Well, for One Road, because it was Jackson's house, we just spent about 60-70 quid and just filled the house full of food and cooked the actors' meals every day. And then for Evil, we pretty much did the same thing.
So you cooked?
I didn't cook either.
I could.
What sort of things did you cook?
I can't remember now. It's mostly sort of easy-going things. A couple of, there's pizzas at one point. Pasta. We did a roast though. Yeah, we did do a roast. That caused arguments.
And that was in your house, is that right?
No, my house.
Oh, your house. Okay, yeah. I know that's sounds like you ate pretty well then. A question that occurred to me. I always remember that I was quite shocked to see this guy stirring this big plate of stodgy pasta with loads of currants in it and then putting it on a plate.
Pasta's always best.
So just run us through a couple of others then, Sam.
This year we plan to shoot a film called Double Take, which is Cabin in the Woods meta horror. That's to be shot within April or possibly be scheduled, not sure.
Yeah.
Then we have Suffer Well, which is a 2-character piece horror film about demonic possession and is absolutely nasty as hell. And then we have a showcase to be shot in August, which is a film about relationships, which Tom can explain better because it's his film.
Okay, that's good that you've asked Tom a question. So Tom, you direct as well then?
Yeah, directing, right.
Okay.
I suppose occasionally cinematography. Showcase is more about the theme of control in people's lives and how far people go to the extent to keep that control if it's not necessarily beneficial for their life, and also people who have no control in their life, so they're forced into particular situations. It's really more about something that's personal but is influenced by outside sources from certain situations that they're put into in society. So, yeah, that's essentially what Showcase is.
It's pretty good. Okay, so